Welcome back to the Ross Bolen podcast. I am your host, Ross Bolen, here as always with the lovely, the leggy, the loosest caboose this side of the Mississippi, Jared Borislow. J-Bone.
Hello. I would say I am leggy, but not like lengthwise. It's more like surface area wise.
Yeah. There's just a lot of legs.
Yeah. It's not like
love, you know?
It's not like, stork or like model legs. It's like there's just a lot.
I like a little
area,
leg though. I don't know if it's cuz I'm a chicken leg guy, but I'm definitely attracted to curvy legs.
You want what you can't have.
You know, I think that's it. Jared, I'm not sure if you're there yet, but I am the age where long holiday weekends end up doing more harm than good. Like this past 4th of July weekend where most of America had Monday off, Jared and I, of course, did the most American thing possible and worked because I've learned my lesson. And he had an F1 race to cover. But it used to be that I'd come back from long holiday weekends like the 4th feeling refreshed, ready to work, thankful for the short week, even grateful to be alive. But now, I just feel even more exhausted, unprepared, scared, and overwhelmed. And it makes sense. I just didn't see it coming. Of course, 3-day weekends before kids and real responsibilities are fucking amazing. But the older you get, the more the responsibilities pile up, and eventually no amount of fireworks or Four Loko can offset the fact that come Friday, you're still going to have way too much shit to do and not enough time to do it.
Specifically to me, 4th of July is in the same boat as New Year's Eve, where it's like, that is, in my opinion, not really like a holiday
It's
I care
a frivolous
about.
holiday to you?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know. This whole thing, it happened to me before my wife and her toddler came into my life, but like now it's even more apparent. Parents know it's apparent. If I get Monday off and we have the toddler, what do you think happens there? You think I'm just lounging around the house like a slug, crushing beers and watching trash TV like back in the day, having a wank every few hours? Nah, son. I'm being Buzz Lightyear and being horsey and chasing her with pillows and entertaining that kid for like 9 straight hours with her mom. Most likely with Daniel Tiger or her latest obsession, Hercules, on repeat in the background. Great movie, Hercules, I might add. The voice casting is so fucking out there that it's legitimately entertaining. Anyway, I used to think doing the podcast was tiring. Try entertaining a toddler for hours on end. They never stop. They never tire. All they want is more, and they're too cute to refuse.
And that's why a lot of parents, once they get past the breaking point, they hand them the iPad.
Yep. I mean, the screen, it's tempting, man. You know what I mean? To bust that thing out. I try not to do it in like restaurants and shit. Because that's the very limited amount of social time that these kids get in 2022 with all of what just happened in COVID. You know, they didn't get to be out and social as much as we did when we were that age. So they need that time, and they don't need to be staring at screens during that time. But it's hard because toddlers are crazy, and I get it. It is what it is. You got to do what you got to do, parents. But in closing, I want European-style vacation where you can like dip out for 3 months. 1 day off ends up making me more stressed out than I was before. But 3 months? Shit, son. I might never come back.
Hey, I mean, you're the boss. You can incorporate that if you want.
Yeah, that's the problem, unfortunately. I waved bye-bye to that being a possibility long ago when I decided to be self-employed.
Oh, like, and also involved in like a medium like podcasting that you pretty much have to do every week.
Yeah, media is not easy to get time off, man. I'll say this. I grew up listening to Jim Rome on the radio. And like once a year for a fucking month, this guy's gone. And it's his co-hosts and guests that are running the show the whole time. And Jay Moore, actor Jay Moore, don't know why, but that's the other person who used to step in. I think he has his own show now, in fact.
You want to tell me more about Jim Rome, Chrissy?
I love Jim Rome, dude.
Hey, Chrissy.
If you call me Chrissy again, I'm going to climb over this table.
I bet you will. Bet you will, Chrissy.
Son of a bitch. It's an all-time clip. All-time clip. If you've never seen it, you got to Google it. It's Jim Rome, Chrissy. Just Google that. And it's him interviewing Chris
Everett.
Everett, yes. Chris Everett.
Whose name bears a striking resemblance to tennis player Chrissy Evert.
So he kept calling him Chrissy, and Christopher didn't find that to be funny. And he eventually did actually physically assault Jim Rome.
The first time in my life I ever saw somebody so angry they actually flipped a table. Like
and Jim Rome is a tiny dude, by the way, I might add. It's just funnier because like the size differential is ridiculous.
Yes. And that's like the perfect clip for the Eric Andre "We'll be right back" meme. Because it's on a talk show, and it's a guy flipping a table and coming after a guy lunging at him.
Yeah, I mean, I won't lie. Having seen that moment since I was a small kid, it's like I've always wondered what it would be like to be attacked on the air, because it would make for just incredible clips. Like that clip is an all-time media clip, just from the entire industry, right? Like it's all time, just stands out. Anyway, so this weekend was kind of a wash for me, I'd say. It didn't really turn into like relaxation or anything like that. I did get some manscaping done this weekend though, because Jared shamed my groin on Freeze All Motor Functions.
I did. I said you had a hideous groin.
You did. And wouldn't you know it, today's episode is brought to you by Manscaped. It is hot as balls outside this summer, which means it's even more important to keep your balls trimmed, and the global leaders in below-the-waist grooming have the best tools for cleaning aisle 5 in your pants. Time to clear out your bush and join the other 4 million men worldwide who trust Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for 20% off free shipping with the code RBP. Manscaped has the full package you need for keeping your crops fresh. The Performance Package 4.0, the only tool you need to keep your boys looking and smelling like fresh tulips your partner wants. To start off, use the Manscaped Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer to get the most precise shave on your hedges. Did we mention it is waterproof as well? Take it in the shower. I don't know. Get in there. No need to worry about watering your grass with this tool, equipped with an LED light. It's got a fucking flashlight on it, Jared.
Yeah, if you're in a power outage and you're showering during a power outage, you can still trim your pubes.
Look, man, sometimes you have long power outages if you live where we do in Texas. And if you need to shave your balls during one of those outages, you've got to get the lights on, man. I like to get weird with it. Shut off the lights, throw on a mask. When I shave my balls with this flashlight, it's an LED light, so you know it's a major asset in the shower. Because it's also waterproof, like I said. You can make it strobe on and off, on and off, on and off.
Put your
No, no, it's just on. Clear your holes and smell the spring air, the summer air, as it were, with the Weed Whacker. This nose and ear hair trimmer provide proprietary skin-safe technology, which helps prevent nicks, snags, and tugs and all those delicate holes. I shove this thing into my ears and nose. It's amazing. Clears out all the hairs. It's funny as shit. It just spins around and just rips all the fucking hair out of your ears and nose. It doesn't hurt at all. Feels great, actually. And afterward, I feel like I can breathe better and hear better. Never done this before until a few months ago when they sent me one. It's amazing. Okay. Love the Weed Whacker.
I need to tell a story that I hope Manscaped appreciates.
Okay.
I had not properly been using my Weed Whacker to clean out my nose hair, and I was.
Were you bending over and using it on your two-hole?
No. Well, I had been using it on my nose, but I had not been doing a thorough enough job. And I'm at a brunch in Louisville, and I'm like, I thought I had, like, you know when your nose itches, like your nostril itches, you just like put.
You're like, is there a booger in there? What is that?
Yeah, I'm like, there's something there.
Is there a fly?
I kept. I'm like, what the heck? Why is my nose so itchy? It was like distracting me from this brunch. I'm like, oh my god, it's so itchy. I go to the bathroom and I look. There was this long ass nose hair that I'd never seen, just sticking out.
And You're doing a terrible job.
I had been doing a terrible
job. You gotta use your fucking Weed Whacker, dumbass.
And then because I didn't have my Weed Whacker on me, I had to rip it out in the bathroom. I'm like, okay.
You don't keep it on you at all? I have it on me at all times.
I keep the thing on me now. I keep the thing on me.
You better. After clearing your nose, make sure to get rid of that fall ball smell. It's your testicles. They smell. With the Crop Preserver and Crop Reviver. The Preserver is an anti-chafing ball deodorant and moisturizer. The Reviver is a spray-on toner for your balls. Keep them toned. Keep them from sticking to your leg. Leave them smelling like fresh flowers. Finish off your grooming routine with the Plow 2.0. It's the perfect razor for the finest shave on your face, because you should not be using the Lawnmower 4.0 on your balls and your face. That would be doing it wrong. Do not do that. Get 20% off plus free shipping with the code RBP at manscaped.com. 20% off plus free shipping. Support the show. Get your downstairs mix-up looking right. Code RBP, manscaped.com. Time to throw out your old hygiene habits and upgrade your downstairs mix-up today with manscaped.com. Code RBP. Speaking of it being hot as balls outside, and the outside just being a generally dangerous place that perhaps we should all avoid entirely, last week I spent a lot of time doing battle with a colony of wasps in the Bolen media backyard.
White Anglo-Saxon Protestants?
Yeah. They had built a nest, the Protestants, right outside on the back porch, on the pergola, as it were, which is a new word that I learned. And there were like 30 wasps, I'm not exaggerating, doing work right there, like right when you walk out the back door of Bolen Media HQ. So I had been out there trying to like pick them off one by one, spray some of them, you know, take a few out with a broom here and there. And I avoided all stings. If you remember, I've only been stung once in my life, and it was on the nipple, left nipple, at Camp Ozark in Arkansas when I was running down a hill in an unbuttoned Hawaiian shirt, and a wasp landed on my goddamn nipple, and the shirt flapped onto the wasp, and it freaked out and attacked. But back to the Bolen Media backyard from the Ozark Mountains. Every time I kill one of these fuckers, it's like they call in more reinforcements. So eventually, I decided to do the same. I had the bug guy come out, fucking wreck that nest, remove it, kill all the wasps. I mean, there were bodies everywhere, man. It was like the Normandy of wasps, just little wasp corpses all over the back porch. Well, that somehow attracted more, and they're like trying to rebuild. All right, I swept their dead brothers and sisters by the dozens into the rocks so that I wouldn't have to feel that guilt when I was like out there smoking. But this weekend, after doing battle with these wasps all last week during the work week at Bolen Media headquarters, I'm up north at my home alone. Wife is at yoga. And I take the dogs out into the backyard to do their business, and I'm just walking along, and all of a sudden, right in my view, I see 2, maybe 3 wasps a couple of feet from my face, like twirling through the air, and I was like, oh, what the fuck? Because you can tell when they're in freak-out attack mode versus just their general flight pattern. Like, they're kind of like spastic, and they look like they're freaking out and ready to kill you. It would take a lot of them to kill you, for the record. But, yeah, so I see them, they're freaking out, and, like, immediately I feel a sting on my left forearm. And I yell out, like, son of a bitch, motherfucker, and, like, ran and jumped over this 3.5-foot fence we have in our backyard to separate the kids' playground from the dog shit minefield. And I was, like, slapping at my arm. It hurt like hell. I had forgotten. Like, it hurt for hours.
Yeah.
I didn't put anything on it, but it was like my whole arm. The poison was, like, coursing through my fucking veins.
Did these wasps up at your actual house know that you killed all the wasps here and follow you?
The sons of bitches followed me 20 miles north and gave me my second sting in 35 years on this earth.
I mean, it sounds like you deserved it. And I will say, one reason that you definitely deserved it is because you have a fucking pergola at our office.
Yeah.
Pergolas are the worst invention of all time. It's not an awning. If it rains, you can't be under it. It doesn't block any of the sun. It's just completely decorative, but it's in a backyard, so who the fuck's gonna see it?
I think you're supposed to grow vines on it or something. I'm going to be honest with you. When I came and looked at this house before purchasing it, I was disgusted by this thing because, like you just said, it serves absolutely no purpose, the pergola, which is why I never bothered to learn what it was actually called because I was just like, this thing's fucking stupid. I don't care enough to learn its name.
You need to be like Ehrlich Bachman, and then you need to turn it into a palapa.
What's a palapa?
I don't know, but Ehrlich in Silicon Valley really liked it. I think it's some sort of covering, some sort of awning.
Huh.
Maybe made out of palm trees. I don't actually know what a palapa is.
Well, I've since recovered from the wasp sting, and I have turned up the intensity of my war on wasps. Like I said, they're trying to rebuild in the Bolen Media backyard, so I was back there for like an hour earlier just taking them out one by one with a spray can, cackling like the Joker. I love all God's creatures, man, but fuck wasps and bees, bruh.
Oh, but no, bees are dying at an alarming rate.
I don't care. They're stinging. Why? What are they... Just because I'm near you? Why are you freaking out? I'm not fucking with you.
Bees are the least aggressive. Like, you should never kill a bee because the only way a bee will ever attack is if it's like you're attacking
All right,
it.
fine. I've got no beef with the bees.
Thank you.
Just the wasps.
Wasps, hornets, yellow jackets.
Mosquitoes.
I don't like wasps, hornets, yellow jackets, mosquitoes, yes.
I can't differentiate between the wasp, the hornet, and the yellow jacket very easily. The yellow jacket's the most distinguishable, I feel like.
Because it has a yellow jacket.
Because it's yellow. But yeah, I'm pretty sure this was a straight wasp. That's usually what we're dealing with here in Texas. But yeah, also cockroaches, roaches.
They can't even hurt you.
I watched Scarface with my wife over the weekend. She had never seen it, and I'll kill all those cockroaches.
A palapa,
like Tony Montana.
A palapa is a traditional Mexican shelter roofed with palm leaves or branches. So I was right.
Wow, we learned something new today. But yeah, I mean, it sucked, man. I don't recommend it. Just leave the wasps be if you want to avoid this. I'm in this war now. This is my battle.
Leave the wasps be.
No pun intended. And I can't walk away. I'm in too deep. We've both. It's like a mafia war. Like I've struck, they've struck. The war has begun. There's no getting out of this. We're going to the mattresses. Me and the wasps. It's just like me and the squirrels back in the day. I won that war though. People wonder what happened to the squirrel bit. Why don't you talk about the squirrels? Yeah, they don't come around no more, Jared.
Because Harvey killed one of them.
That's exactly right. And then I brought him here down south just so he could intimidate the squirrels here. Now there are no squirrels to be seen on either of my properties in Austin, Texas, but the wasps have moved in.
But what do you think about the iguana who lives under the back deck?
I love this family of lizards.
Does he eat
I think they
wasps?
eat bugs.
Do they eat the wasps you killed?
I wish he would. I wish it was more like a, you know, like how you let the daddy longlegs survive because they're out there getting the mosquitoes. They're the mosquito eaters or whatever. No, these are two different things. Daddy longlegs are spiders. Mosquito eaters are the ones that look like daddy longlegs, but they fly. I don't see very many of those anymore. Where are they at? In Houston, Texas, growing up, they were always up in our house and shit. It was mad annoying, the mosquito eaters. Now I never see them. I feel like we need them more than ever. Mosquitoes are rampant.
Yeah.
Very little rain, and then it's hot as shit, and then they breed.
I hate mosquitoes. Mosquitoes, I as Ross can attest to, like if there's ever an animal or a bug inside of headquarters, I will remove it. I'll find a way. There was a freaking spider that I had Cade help me transport out of the shower.
I'm the same way, man.
Because most bugs.
I don't know why y'all were in the shower together, but okay.
They're also, not humans, but they're.
I had Cade.
Anyways,
when we were showering together, I had him help me take out a spider and free it.
Anyways, they're a life, They're innocent enough. However, mosquitoes.
We're a very progressive company.
Mosquitoes, when they attack me, when you come and you try to hurt me, oh, you're gonna catch the smoke.
That's how I am, man. I'm a peaceful guy. Pacifist for the most part. I don't really fuck with people. Don't really fuck with other beings. But you come for me, and I will make fuck on you. And the wasps are learning that the hard way.
How do you make fuck on a bed of wasps? It sounds like it would sting you again.
With a broom. I do work with a broom. We had a cockroach in the house over the weekend, too. A lot of bugs in my life lately. And my wife was laughing at me as I was taking it out with the broom. She's like, what the fuck are you doing? This broom. It was up on the wall, man. It was really high up. I had to get it down. And then there's the flat part of the broom. I smashed this motherfucker with that. And she was laughing her ass off at me. And I'm sitting there like proud of the work I had just done. Also of note, lately the toddler, when we're eating dinner, if she sees a fly, she fucking stops the dinner, makes me get up and kill it. She'll be like, Roro, fly, go get it. And I'm like, can I eat first? And she's like, I asked this. I'm like, can I please finish my meal first? And she's like, no. And she won't eat again until I get up and kill the goddamn fly.
That fly comes and lands on her food. That's upsetting.
I've gotten really good at it, though. Getting the flies, too.
Well, if you watch Westworld, you know that the fly, if it gets into your eyeball, can control you.
That's true. Jared and I do a Westworld podcast, by the way, called Freeze All Motor Functions. It's available wherever you listen to the Ross Bolen podcast. We're 2 episodes into season 4, and it's actually quite good. They're making a good comeback here. I'm proud.
And we're about to go to 1920s gangster world.
And everybody knows that's going to be fun.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, freeze all motor functions. Anyway, moving on. Today's episode is also brought to you by Talkspace. There's something rejuvenating about getting down to what's essential and starting fresh. Same goes with your mind. Over the years, thoughts and emotions can build up. That's why it's important to talk to somebody who's trained to help you declutter your mental space. Talkspace therapists are available to message anytime you need because you shouldn't have to watch your thoughts pile up until your next appointment rolls around. I have been in therapy for over a decade. Can't more highly recommend it. I've talked about it frequently throughout the course of our 502 episodes. But I understand it can be daunting for some. But getting started is way less daunting with Talkspace. They make your connecting with a licensed therapist easy so you can stop setting aside your own mental well-being and take care of yourself. Talkspace takes some of the pressure off that first step. It's a more flexible and convenient way to get high-quality care. Plus, there are several payment options to choose from. Once you match with one of the licensed therapists, you can message them anytime through the app or schedule a live session if you need to talk something through, which I find to be incredibly convenient because sometimes even with my therapist, there can be a day where you have a lot going on or your mental health is really in a bad place and you wish you had somebody to talk to right then and there, and that's what Talkspace is there for. Your mental health is too important to rely on Dr. Google. With 24/7 text, audio, and video messaging, Talkspace lets you talk to a licensed therapist without needing an appointment. They have thousands of therapists across dozens of specialties. Once you match with your therapist, you can message with them anytime, anywhere. Talkspace is private, secure, and most importantly, accessible. Everything you love about therapy without the stuff that gets in the way. So if your thoughts and emotions are piling up, a fresh perspective can help you feel better. Match with your dedicated therapist today at Talkspace.com. Use promo code RBP during sign-up to get $100 off your first month. That's $100 off at Talkspace.com. Promo code RBP.
Josh Campbell, Corporal, United States Marine Corps.
Second Lieutenant Jackson Howard, U.S. Army.
This is EO2 Elsesser from the U.S. Navy.
Mary Jo Milestrup, Lieutenant Commander, U.S. Coast Guard.
Lance Corporal Lever, United States Marine Corps.
This is retired Brigadier General Guy Walsh, former commander of the 175th Wing, Maryland Air National Guard, and commander of the 451st Air Expeditionary Wing, Kandahar, Afghanistan.
Air Force Second Lieutenant John Hankus.
83 Grant Sisk, United States Navy.
And this is Ross Bolen's badass vet you haven't heard of.
Yeah, that'll never get old, man. It never ever will.
So
okay.
long.
Big news. All right, from CNN. Bradford Clark Freeman, believed to be the last surviving original member of the historic World War II Parachute Infantry Regiment of the U.S. Army, known as Easy Company, died Sunday in Columbus, Mississippi. He was 97 years old. Known to his friends as Mr. B, Freeman was a freshman at Mississippi State when World War II began, according to the obituary. Again, this is from CNN. He volunteered for the paratroopers and, quote, on February 5th, 1944, he went into foreign service with the 506th Parachute Infantry Regiment, 101st Airborne Division, the obituary said. As a mortarman for Easy Company, he jumped into the D-Day Normandy invasion, per the obituary. He also fought in Operation Market Garden and was part of the defense of Bastogne, Belgium, during the Battle of the Bulge, where he was wounded, the obituary read. After rejoining his unit, he participated in the occupations of Berchtesgaden and Austria, according to the obituary. The story of Easy Company was depicted in the HBO miniseries Band of Brothers, based on the New York Times bestseller by Stephen Ambrose. After the war, Freeman returned to his hometown, Caledonia, Mississippi, where he married Willie Louie Gurley. It's a hell of a name. And worked as a mail carrier for 32 years. So it's a big deal, obviously, because as the World War II generation kind of ceases to exist, they full-blown cease to exist eventually, stories like this are becoming more commonplace, but this one in particular a big deal because HBO's Band of Brothers miniseries is such a, I think it was, for a lot of people, myself included, the first thing that ever made me feel like I understood, like I could understand or have any idea what it might have been like to go to war back in the day when, pre-technology really changing the way that modern warfare works. And it was terrifying. It's a horrifying, as I've said on the show many times, I brought up Band of Brothers dozens and dozens of times over the years. One of the ongoing bits being that I watch it at least a couple times a year to remind myself what a pussy I am, which is partially true. And I also just started watching it literally the other day. I was talking to my wife and I was like, we're working through all these classic things she hasn't seen. I'm giving her my culture because I'm so cultured. And one of the things she hadn't seen is Band of Brothers. And I was like, we should watch it. And then literally we finally watched the first episode after we found out that the last surviving member of Easy Company passed away yesterday. And the show is just so good. It's just an incredible story, period. But one of the biggest takeaways is how young these guys were. And in the first episode, they get into like what happened when the war started and they were eligible to go sign up, and that there were guys that were turned away for, medical reasons and whatnot. And in one of the towns, there was like 3 people who committed suicide because they couldn't go to the war, right? Which is like the reverse of what you think would happen in 2022 if we had a similar situation. So it was a completely different time, a completely different world at that point. Warfare was completely different as well. All those things make World War II just incredibly fascinating. And also, it's obviously one of the most horrifying things that has ever occurred on our planet, if not the, which makes the actions of all these young men who were so giddy to go and fight over there even more heroic. But it's also what makes the passing of Bradford Clark Freeman such a big deal, because he was, as far as we know it, the last surviving member of Easy Company. I'm not sure how they wouldn't know this exactly, but it just says believed to be the last surviving member. Maybe one of them has come back as a zombie or something.
Zombie.
No idea.
I've never seen Band of Brothers.
Highly recommend it, J-Bone.
Is Tom Hanks in that?
No, Colin Hanks is, and he sucks. Ruins a whole episode.
Yeah, people said that about his appearance in Dexter as well.
I am very anti-Colin Hanks as an actor.
What about Chet Hanks?
Very anti-Chet Hanks as a human being in general.
But he's a good actor.
Chet?
Yeah.
Is he?
A lot of people said his appearance in Atlanta was very good.
Okay, wow, that's shocking.
He also was one of the most memorable one-episode characters in Curb Your Enthusiasm history.
That's true.
As the soldier.
Thank you for your service.
He played a better soldier than Colin Hanks, it sounds like.
Thank you for your,
Thank you for your service.
Colin Hanks comes in as like an uppity West Point graduate, like toward the end. And you're like, oh, this fucking guy, which is exactly what you're supposed to feel. So maybe he crushes the role, but you do want to fight him the entire time he's on the miniseries Band of Brothers. I will say this. I loved Orange County. He said, I'm going to burn this mother down. And I said, you better not. You better not. Like the fucking 4th of July in there, Jared.
I have no idea. Was that a TV show?
Yeah, those are Jack Black quotes from Orange County, starring Colin Hanks and Jack Black.
Okay, yeah, I figured.
Also, the mom from that's from Home Alone, the Home Alone mom. I'm going to tie all this together. It's going to be beautiful. Trinity Killer is the dad. So the guy from Dexter who plays with Colin Hanks, ironically, plays his dad in Orange County. And the mom is the mom in Schitt's Creek, star sitcom, or big hit sitcom, comedy, Schitt's Creek, but was also Mrs. McAllister, Kevin's mom in Home Alone.
Wow.
How about that?
You put that together as succinctly as you could without knowing any of the actors' names.
I can't remember her fucking name.
What the? Okay, the guy, the Trinity Killer is a very famous actor. He was also in Perry Mason recently.
Look, I'm going to remedy all this right now, all right?
Yeah.
Catherine O'Hara is the actress.
Okay.
Trinity Killer actor is John Lithgow. Yeah, I apologize to both of them. They're both legendary. I'm just, doing the best I can, Jared. But yeah, Catherine O'Hara, John Lithgow play the parents of Colin Hanks in Orange County. It's a funny-ass movie.
And what was the connection? Oh, Kevin McAllister's mom is Catherine O'Hara?
Yeah, and she also is the mom in Schitt's Creek.
Oh.
Which is an amazing comedy if you've never watched it. My wife introduced me to it.
And my fiance loves it. And to really tie it together, I was an extra in the hit 2011 film Dolphin Tale.
And Tom Hanks produced Band of Brothers. With Steven Spielberg.
Morgan Freeman was in Dolphin Tale.
Which is tight. And Steven Spielberg produced and directed Saving Private Ryan, starring Tom Hanks, which I have to assume is how their relationship led to the creation of Band of Brothers.
Cozy Zulsdorf
just power.
Was one of the lead child actress in Dolphin Tale, and she is featured on a song that they play in the game Rocket League.
Wow. The craziest thing to me about World War II is that these motherfuckers came home and then just went and were mail carriers for 32 years and shit like that. Like, I just can't, I cannot fathom going overseas, surviving that mess, getting back and being like, fuck it, I'm delivering mail for the rest of my life. Yeah. Actually, now that I'm thinking it through, it kind of makes sense. Once you've been through that, it's like, I'm just going to chill. I'm just going to deliver the fucking mail.
Now I'm like, we have the same mail carrier every day. Wonder what his backstory is.
I don't know, but I like that dude. I like his vibes.
Yeah,
I say what's up. He comes a lot when I'm working out in the Bolen Media gymnasium.
He's got a man bun, which I appreciate.
It's our garage. Yeah, he's got a fucking ballin' man bun. He's killing that thing. He's got the dope mailman hat a lot of the time that he wears to keep the sun out of his face. Yeah.
Good guy.
Great parking spot right under the shade of that tree out there. Like him. Anyway.
Oh, yeah. It's fun. I should note, you have a walking... He drives the car, but he walks to all the houses.
Yeah, walking around. I love that shit.
With a satchel. He has the old classic mail satchel. I wonder if this guy used a satchel.
Completely insane. Shouldn't exist. But
not in Texas.
No, I don't know why they do it, but they do it.
It's because you don't have a mailbox. They literally have to. Because assholes don't have... He has the mailboxes next to his front door.
On the door, yeah. I hate that shit. I grew up with a normal mailbox like normal people.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I don't know. The first time I had to live in an apartment, I was like, this is bullshit. And at my house up north with my wife, we have like one of those community mailboxes.
Those are the worst.
Bro, we never check the mail.
Nope.
We just don't ever go check the mail. I have no fucking idea what's in there. Could be bills from months ago.
I hate that shit.
But I feel like I'm not culpable. That's not my fault. I need a mailbox at my premises. It's like 40 feet. But I don't want to go over there. I don't know what's happening over there. There's too many different boxes. I feel like if you're going to get COVID, that's where you're going to get it. From the goddamn mailbox. Everybody's grubby little paws all over all the doors, trying to figure out which one's theirs and shit. Yeah. Anyway, today's episode of RBP is also brought to you by Bird Dogs. Bird Dogs have completely changed the game. Their shorts, pants, and joggers are made from the finest high-quality material and come with built-in liners that cradle your stovepipe for all-day comfort. Who the fuck likes being uncomfortable? It's time to upgrade to the shorts and pants of the future. Your balls will thank you. Go to birddogs.com, enter promo code Ross, and they'll throw in a Bird Dogs tumbler. You know, like it's a beverage holder. Tumbler. You can put your coffee in there, some ice-cold water, mix in some vodka if you're an alcoholic or whatever. It's birddogs.com, code Ross, boom, free Bird Dogs tumbler with your pair of Bird Dogs. You will not take these things off, I promise you. I wear Bird Dogs to work out a couple times a week, hoop in them regularly, I sleep in them regularly. I wore a pair of their pants yesterday to record Freeze All Motor Functions. They're the most comfortable all-purpose shorts I've ever worn or owned, and as they say, they dry faster than a bathing suit. Great for the summer. Birddogs.com, code Ross for that free Bird Dogs tumbler with your order. Time for some insane headlines of the day. First up, alleged threesome led to 60-person brawl on Carnival cruise, passenger says. This is from Huffington Post. A massive hour-long 60-person brawl broke out on a Carnival cruise after one person's significant other found out about an alleged threesome. I love that they have to say alleged. It says, here's the article. A recent Carnival cruise packed an unexpected punch. Ha ha ha. Hit the laugh track, Jared.
Oh, you want me to hit the laugh track?
Yeah, let me read it again. A recent Carnival cruise packed an unexpected punch. Thank you. A huge fight that took place among a crowd of passengers aboard the Carnival Magic.
Still going.
That's fine. It is funny. Was allegedly ignited by allegations of cheating, according to a passenger who shared video of the fight with Fox News Digital. An alleged threesome among guests aboard the vessel caused a rift after one person's significant other discovered the tryst on the trip. According to the witness, the onlooker, Teresa James, who identified herself as a travel agent, said she saw the fight from her cabin door. She told the Fox News outlet that the melee began about 2 a.m. near the ship's dance club and casino on the 5th floor. She described the passengers who sparked the fight as, quote, ignorant fools acting stupid. The viral videos that's been shared on Twitter showcased the rumble, which involved beer bottles being smashed and a possible cut injury, James said. The brawl lasted an hour and involved about 60 people, according to the travel agent. Maybe I should reconsider my stance on cruises because this sounds fucking awesome. Threesomes and 60-person brawls?
I mean, this is a Carnival cruise, so...
Let's fucking go, baby.
It's not most cruises you're going to get this on.
That's a vacation right there, though.
Oh, yeah.
Dude, how did 60... Is this like one of those... What is this, a fucking... This is the crowd that used to be hanging out in Westerns in the bar. You throw a punch in a bar in a Western, the whole bar ends up fighting, right? Everybody's throwing punches by the end. Now that exact same species of human being is packed into Carnival cruises. That's the only way to explain a 60-person brawl.
Maybe each person from the threesome was on a 20-person family reunion that happened to be on the trip, so they just had their whole squad behind them.
And everybody was throwing. I just punched my microphone just to get in on the violence. But yeah, no, that's the only thing that would make this make sense, I think. Well, you got to tell them what you're laughing at least.
Ross, when Ross punched his microphone, he moved his sandbag
It's
that
a
holds it up.
podcast, Jared. It's an audio form.
And so he was trying to make it stand up, even though there was no counterweight to make it stand up. So he had to go and put the counterweight back.
Thank you. Anyway, this is ridiculous. 60 people. It doesn't sound like anybody was even charged with anything.
No, it's international waters, Ross.
How do they handle that? How does a Carnival cruise handle a 60... That's why it took an hour.
The Somali pirates have to come in and really settle the score.
I mean, that's really, really difficult to stop 60 people from brawling. I'm assuming they didn't even have that much... Like, what do they have, like 20 security people on a Carnival cruise?
Wait, so who was...
Makes me wonder.
So was the fourth person... So if it was two couples, was the fourth person the one who was pissed about the threesome?
It sounds like there's two couples and one of the people in the couples was not involved in the threesome and got pissed off and then caused some kind of WrestleMania.
That's a pretty big cucking.
60-person battle royale situation.
It's a pretty big cucking, I would
On
say.
a cruise, dude. You can't even escape. That's the thing. You want to avoid beef like that over international waters because that's how you end up getting tossed overboard.
Yeah, I've been watching...
Stay woke.
On TikTok, I get served quite a bit of like cruise mishap videos now.
A lot of cruise content for you on TikTok.
Yes, of like the chimney catching on fire or the boat's like counter... balance, engine braking, and the boats just swing really heavily side to side. And I'm like, I've been on maybe like 4 or 5 cruises in my life, and I've never had any issue. But
you ever had a threesome?
No, I've never had a threesome on any of the cruises I've been on, or ever.
No 60-person brawls?
No, I've never been involved in a brawl, except Super Smash Brothers brawl.
Yeah, good times. Pika pika. Next headline. Millions of bees.
Not the bees! Ah, they're getting my eyes!
Released after semi-trailer crash on interstate. More than 25 million bees were accidentally freed last week when a semi-trailer holding the insects overturned in the interstate in Utah. They were spotted swarming over Interstate 80 on June 27th after the vehicle containing more than 200 beehives toppled over. The bees stung several people, including the semi-trailer's driver, first responders, and others. The driver and a co-driver who was in the vehicle both sustained minor injuries but were transported to a hospital for treatment. Some local beekeepers arrived at the scene and attempted to rescue as many bees as they could, but the owner of the hives would later call them off, saying the incident is now an insurance issue. Quote, unfortunately, more is damaged than not. Maybe 5% that's salvageable, beekeeper Sam Cohen said, according to the Fox affiliate. It's sad to see. Fellow beekeeper Michaela Opefa, I don't know, said, every bee counts. You want to run up and see if we can help. There's a lot of them that are dead already. So it's kind of sad. It reminds me of the butterfly holocaust that I saw in Tulum.
Sorry, I should have hit this.
Yeah, one lane on the interstate was closed for a few hours as they tried to clean up the beehives, and a hiking trail in the area was shut down due to the swarm of bees. It sounds fucking hilarious. 25 million bees suddenly hovering over an interstate. If you saw that, you turn it around and going the other way, right? I don't want anything, especially having been recently stung by a wasp, though. Again, no beef with bees. I wish these bees the best. As long as those bitches stay away from me. Mm-hmm. But it sounds like...
million. Hey,
this is a bummer, though,
They're dying at an alarming rate, and so they didn't need this.
Wasatch Beekeepers Association President Julie Arthur told the Post that only about 10% of them survived. She estimated that volunteer beekeepers saved 2.5 million bees.
Damn.
The bees were to be used for pollination of food crops on the West Coast, Arthur
good.
said.
No, we're not already in a food shortage. So.
Yeah, that's no big deal. Just casually losing the bees that are supposed to be helping us with our crops.
I found some crazy stats out about California. I had no idea. I knew California had like a drought, right? And like all the water shortage, because the whole thing is pretty much all the water that California gets, and they get a lot of water, but it all drops in the northern part of the state. So they have those crazy piping things that pipe it down to the south where all the farms are and stuff.
Sure.
California, the reason they have a shortage, most of the vast majority, like 85% of the water that California uses goes to farming, because California is provides like 85% of the crops to the United States or some crazy
Probably
shit.
Goes to Napa.
The wineries?
Growing wine.
Yeah, probably.
But
yeah, I could not believe how many crops California produces. It's unbelievable. What an important state.
I can't believe the beekeepers assemble like they're the goddamn Avengers every time that a beehive
what the fuck?
tips over.
Local beekeepers came to rescue bees?
Beekeepers assemble! And then they just they're all out on the highway in their suits. Those are sick suits. You ever gonna put one of those helmets on?
No.
I've always wanted to.
No.
I kind of need one now at this point, frankly, now that I'm at war with the wasps.
True.
I could use one of those beekeeper suits, Jared, did you see Joey Chestnut choke out a protester while winning the hot dog eating contest yet again?
I did. While
that shit was
on
amazing.
Crutches as well.
Yes. It was awesome, but it also badly boned over bettors as it slowed him and caused him to slurp less glizzies, which is a sad side story of the whole affair. But yeah, great moves from Joey there. I was impressed with the choke out. On crutches, choke out, throws him to the side, gets back to just fucking hossing hot dogs.
What if the protester was actually just an underbetter?
That's a good point. What were they protesting even? Protesters need to get their shit together.
I don't know. Like Star Wars?
I mean, this is not how it... Stop interrupting our entertainment and sporting competitions like this. Hot dog eating contests, the NBA playoffs.
Did you not hear about Formula One?
What happened?
Okay.
Oh, yeah. So there was the crash first.
So the
All
crash...
of this, by the way, you can hear on Formula Bolen F1 show.
Well, I intentionally didn't talk about the protesters on Formula... We're not in the F1 sphere. We're trying not to give them the publicity, but there's not that much crossover.
You didn't even
probably
mention the protesters?
No, because most people aren't. It's like a whole coordinated effort to not mention it so that you don't give them publicity.
So that it doesn't keep happening?
But this is a different show, so I can talk about it here.
That's funny.
So what happened was, there was a red flag. The race was essentially stopped, and the cars slowed down immensely after the first turn because there was a very big crash.
This is in England, right?
Yeah. Now, if that had not happened, there's a chance that we could have guts of protesters splattered everywhere because, 4 different people on lap 1, when the cars are really, They're
hauling
going
ass.
They're hauling ass because they're trying to get position. So they're going literally. They're pushing as hard as they can.
And it's the most hectic, right?
Yes.
Like the beginning and end. Yeah.
Yes. So we're in like drivers attempting overtakes. So they're getting off the racing line,
Doing riskier stuff they wouldn't normally do.
Yes. And these protesters were off the racing line. But like if somebody's going for an overtake right there, like literally 4 protesters on the track for the first lap. If it had not been red flagged and the racing had been stopped, we could have some exploded humans.
Is that what you were rooting for?
No, I didn't even hear about it until after. But no, I would not have rooted for exploded humans. Mostly only, I don't care about them. Like they can totally die, totally their fault. I care about the drivers because if the driver slices the person's body in half, that person's upper torso could kill them by hitting them.
What about the halo? It doesn't save them from body splatter?
I mean, not the splatter. No, it might save them from a large piece of the body, but it's not totally covered. They don't have a windscreen like IndyCar.
Sure.
But yeah, I mean, and there is video of a person getting sliced in half by an F1 car. It's
Was
not
that
pretty.
on like facesofdeath.com?
It happened in the 1970s in South Africa.
Damn.
Yeah.
Didn't the car go into the crowd? I feel like we've talked about this before.
A car did go into the crowd a very long time ago. Massive, huge casualty event.
Oh.
Yeah.
Good times.
But that wasn't. I'm talking about. This was there was a guy on the track. It was a marshal.
Wow.
Yeah, it was sad. Sad stuff. A lot of deaths happened in Formula One. In the many deaths have happened over the course of the sport. Not a single F1 death though since 2015.
No deaths in hot dog eating competitions that I'm aware of, at least not as a direct result of them.
There definitely guaranteed have been. People choke on the glizzy and die. I know of somebody who died at a donut eating competition at Voodoo Donuts in Denver. They choked on a donut and died.
What?
Yes.
That's a terrible way to go, bro.
You gotta have
somebody around to handle that.
You gotta have a Heimlich maneuver person at an eating contest.
That's what I'm saying. What the fuck is that? It's just a donut, dude. Like, get in there and get that bitch out with your hand if you got to. Like, fucking fist my throat. Don't let me die there. A donut? You think I want to get taken out by a donut? No. Take that shit out of my throat. Please,
I'll put
Jared.
something in your throat.
What?
It's my penis.
What? No. Why would you do that? Why would you say that?
God willing.
What does that mean? Anyway, the thing I'm most impressed with this week is the Minions Rise of Gru marketing scheme with all these fucking teenagers who were like 13 the last time a Minions movie dropped.
They're called the Gentleminions.
Hitting the theater in full suits. Yeah, Gentleminions, who are apparently also like running amok in local theaters.
Yeah, they're doing mosh pits in front of the screen, which is distracting children from watching the movie. They're throwing bananas at the screen, which I think is a reference to something from the film.
If you've got kids who love the Minions, I can appreciate that. Watch that shit at home. You cannot be going to the theater right now. The Gentleminions are out in force. You're going to have to wait until the day of the Gentleminion passes before you can get you and your kid up in the theater, unless you're willing to put up with whatever the shenanigans they've got going. That is a jacked up age group. You're 17, you're 18, you don't know your ass from your face, Jared? You don't know much.
I knew that at that point, but go on.
You'll do stupid shit. You'll do crazy things that you wouldn't do the rest of your life when you're that age.
Well, a lot of the Gentleminions are peaceful, and they're not being disruptive. They're just wearing suits and eating bananas in the theater.
Banana.
But some are definitely are doing disruptive things.
Bob! I feel like I would be one of the disruptive ones because I'd just be yelling out quotes the whole time.
Who's Gru? Is he the big one of the
Gru is Steve Carell. He's the villain. He's their boss. Boss!
Oh, from Despicable Me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all the same world, the same universe, same story. There's like 6 of these movies now. They're fucking amazing. I've been working my way through them with the toddler, but I was a big Minion person long ago. Been that for a while. Look, I have a Minion Funko Pop here.
Holy shit!
Even
can I point out something that has actually really pissed me off about the Minions?
A lot of Minion haters too, and I don't fuck with Minion haters. Dude.
I like the Minions, but there's something that's been bothering me, and I haven't had a platform to talk about it on, and I finally have it.
Banana.
The Minions have sold out.
Okay.
There is a Liberty Mutual commercial that features the Minions.
Yeah,
and
they're everywhere.
As everybody knows, the Minions do not speak English. They speak gibberish. They speak...
they speak Minionese, you disrespectful, uncultured swine.
Okay, fine. They speak Minionese, which is very akin to gibberish. However...
No, it's akin to like English mixed with Spanish, mixed with some other languages. It's Minionese.
In the Liberty Mutual commercial, at the end, the Minions say, Liberty, 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 Liberty...
Yeah, they can sing. They can carry a tune.
But they're speaking English. Everybody knows they're saying liberty. And they're saying it for the purpose of saying liberty. The minions should not be able to speak English in English settings. They speak Minionese. Maybe if they said, babidi, 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 I'd be like, okay, you're still speaking Minionese. They sold out. They actually started speaking English, which they've never done before.
Look, they taught them some English, man. They're trying to get these guys to be bilingual.
Why are you defending Liberty Mutual in their bastardization of the Minions?
I am defending the Minions for getting the bag. Who am I to stand between a Minion and his payday?
The Minions are seeing none of that bag.
They are. They're eating like kings right now. You're just doubting and hating. Like, let them get paid, man. These celebrities, once they make it big, like the Minions obviously have, this is like 6-7 movies, they have the right to cash in, man. They've earned that, and I think the Minions really have earned that. So, yeah, I'm loving the Minions. Big fan. Loving the Gentleminions.
Mike Wazowski walked so the Minions could run.
Love Monsters Inc. though. Big fan. I haven't watched that one with the kid yet because I don't think she's old enough. Frankly, she's not old enough for Hercules. I can't really remember how exactly that happened. She keeps like finding a way to watch movies that she shouldn't be watching yet.
I loved Hercules growing up. I loved Dumbo. She watched Dumbo yet?
Nope.
The original
Dumbo's
one.
Scary,
Not
bro.
the Tim Burton one, the original one.
Yeah, that's scary. There's scary scenes in Dumbo. I try to avoid the scary shit, but she like fuck. Sometimes it'll be like Hercules fighting a 3-headed Hydra, and she's like, "Ro, what is that?" And I'm like, "It's a snake, baby. It's a silly fucking snake. Don't worry about it." And she's like, "Oh." She'll say like, "I'm scared," and I'm like, "Oh, if you're scared, we don't have to turn it off. We don't have to watch it. We can turn it off." And she's like, "No, I like it." I'm like, "Oh God, you're gonna be a horror movie fan."
Oh yeah. I've still never seen Get Out. By the way,
likes the thrill.
Is Get Out good?
Good movie, yeah. Solid.
Never seen
it. It's a good movie for non-horror movie people because it's it's not like a jump scare, ghost, paranormal activity, The Witch. What was that one in the forest where it was just people chasing each other with a camcorder that made like $400 million?
Blair Witch
Project. That was so fucking stupid. I'm still pissed off about watching that. I didn't watch it when it came out. I didn't go to theaters, and one day I finally cracked and I watched it, and after it ended, I was like, God damn it.
Jake Goldman, a guy we used to work with, his favorite genre is found footage movies. So like Blair Witch Project, Cloverfield.
I loved Cloverfield. I don't have a problem with found footage movies. I just didn't like... Wait, there's another really good one where these kids get powers. What was that?
Kids get powers.
Yeah, these kids find like a rock, like a meteor hits the earth, and they go and fuck with it, and then they all get powers, and then one of them like really goes crazy, and he bad things happen. I'll just say that. It's called God damn. There's a lot of these now. Like Project X was fun. I saw that shit in theaters, but you didn't know that. Yeah.
Project X was good. I forgot that was a found footage movie. Not found footage. I guess they didn't find it. I guess they probably uploaded it themselves, but that was a solid one.
Powers. What is this called? Chronicle? Yes. 3 high school friends who make an extraordinary discovery in an underground cavern. And then everything goes haywire. That's my movie recommendation of the week.
What do you watch it on?
Chronicle. I have no idea. Google it. Figure it out. You're a big boy. Banana! Anyway. Watch full episodes of our show on YouTube, by the way, if you've only ever listened on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. You could also watch, if you'd like, on YouTube. Just search the Ross Bolen Podcast. Follow us on social media, on TikTok, at the Ross Bolen Podcast, where we're still working our way there, Jared. 95K today, though.
That last 10K is hard.
It's a tough hill to climb. We're on Instagram at the Ross Bolen Podcast as well. On Twitter at Ross Bolen Pod. I'm Ross Bolen. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at WR Bolen. You can follow Mr. Borislow at Jared Borislow on Twitter and Instagram. And as he mentioned earlier, he has a F1 show, Formula Bone F1 show, available wherever you listen to the Ross Bolen Podcast. Latest episode recapping the wild and wacky British Grand Prix.
And most people like to watch the Formula Bone F1 show on YouTube. Go check it out. Toss me a subscription, and I'll love you. If you like me, I'll love you.
Formula Bone on YouTube. It pops up right there. We've also got Freeze All Motor Functions. As I mentioned, it's our Westworld podcast hosted by Jared, co-hosted by myself and Serena, where we discuss and break down every episode of Westworld's 4th season. We're 2 episodes in. And as I have stated, I believe Westworld to be back. I'm very impressed with what they're doing so far this season. Seems like a great rebound to me. House of the Dragon is coming up in August. Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, formerly the #1 Game of Thrones podcast in the world, is ready. Barrett, Dudley, and I will be breaking down every episode of House of the Dragon right there on Oysters, Clams, and Cockles, also available wherever you listen to RBP. And, of course, if you're in Houston or a Houston sports fan displaced somewhere else around the globe, Banging the Can is my Houston sports podcast where I semi-regularly record and update people on what's going on with the H-Town sports stuff. I record more frequently when there's things of importance happening, obviously.
Is there any Houston sports going on right now? I guess
we just did the NBA draft.
How are the Astros doing?
Which was huge because we got Jabari Smith. But the Astros are doing great, man. They're crushing everybody. It's fucking amazing. It's very, very fun. It's like they're right behind the Yankees.
Who did you lose? Carlos Correa?
Yeah.
Is that it?
Lance McCullers Jr. is still out. Has not played a game this season with an arm injury. And when our pitching staff is ridiculous. When he comes back, it's going to be on. Still not speaking to me, though. So, best of luck to Lance in his recovery. Anyway, Jared and I are out. We'll be back on Friday on patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast like we are every Friday with an ad-free, exclusive, premium edition of RBP for our supporters there on Patreon. You go to patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast. You pick a tier. You can support us with a minimum $5 pledge to join the RBP gang officially. And in exchange, among other things, you get a 10% off code for bolenmedia.com/shop to grab yourself some merch. And you also get access to our ad-free Friday episodes. As I mentioned, right now, during the summertime, Jared and I are really only doing one episode of RBP a week. But there is a second, all new material episode that comes out every Friday on patreon.com/Ross Bolen podcast. So get in there, support the show. And when you join, you immediately gain access to our entire backlog of existing ad-free episodes on Patreon. Appreciate y'all. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Tell everybody you know about RBP. Interact with us on social media. Comment on our Instagram videos and on our TikToks and our YouTubes, and subscribe and like and rate and review and do all those things. They do mean a lot and go a long way for us, especially the commenting on social media, obviously, and the liking and the sharing and telling everybody about our shows here at Bolen Media. We appreciate y'all. Until next time, peace be with you and also with you.